I am not defined by my past.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reacting to a video titled How I Feel About My Past, Brittany Renner. Let's go ahead and get right into this video. Make sure you guys don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and show your support. So here we go.
I received a DM recently that I wanted to talk about. And it reads, how do you get a man to respect you even if you have a past? How do you do it? You're unapologetically you and you're comfortable in your own skin. How do you get so much confidence and courage? First things first, I am not defined by my past.
Let's just stop right here. She says that she's not defined by her past, but unfortunately, that's how men view women. Men don't want women with a past.
She belongs to the streets.
And ultimately riding the CC. And just think about all the guys that she's been with, and me as a man, I don't want to pay full price to ultimately be with you, you know, put a ring on you, put you in a nice home when you've been thotting it up.
I agree with you. I think it's a decision that you make, right? So if you decide that you want to, you know, explore your options and, you know, date around and things like that, it all comes with consequences, right? So if that's the route that you want to go, then, you know,
right,
understand
you gotta deal with it.
There's going to be consequences to that, right?
Right.
That, like, so after you have all your fun, the guys are who, you know, want a very good girl, I guess, like to wife up. They may pass you up, right? Unfortunately.
A man does not validate me. I validate me. Let's be clear on that. I don't get too high or too low about anyone's opinion outside of mine. If I wouldn't take advice from you, then your opinion holds no weight over here. Somebody cares about your opinion somewhere, but not me, not here, okay? When people do offer their opinions, I am always sure to take into consideration their awareness or lack of. I also understand that a person could speak with so much conviction that it sounds like it's true. Like the way that they're putting it, they can't be lying about what they're saying. But just because it sounds true, someone is speaking maybe from a good place, doesn't make it true. Your feelings ain't facts. You don't know me like I know me.
She basically has no accountability. She is pretty much just saying, you know, she feels that other people's opinions don't matter. But the reality of it, you're a public figure, right? You're on social media. You're in the limelight. You know, let's be honest. You've been with different celebrities. She's wrote a book about sleeping with X amount of guys in a week. You're monetizing your thought behavior, but at the same time, you don't want people to judge you on that, which, you know, doesn't make any sense. But what are your thoughts on that?
I didn't know she wrote a book on this
stuff.
A book. Oh my goodness.
Full-blown book published, and basically just talking about her experiences with multiple men. And you're going to put that out in the universe, and you're going to think that guys are not going to judge you on that. Like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense.
That's the thing, though. It's the reality of it, right? The reality is that people will judge you, especially because, you know, like most girls are seen as like supposed to be very like untainted, very, you know, pure and all this stuff. So if you do anything like on the extreme side, of course there's gonna be judgment that comes with that. Yep. But again, like if you put yourself in the situation, you know deep down you shouldn't be doing it, but you do it anyways. Yep. Like people are gonna have their opinions.
I am allowed to change my mind. Nobody's permission is required. So even if people are wanting to keep me in this box they have me confined in, it is still up to me and my choice what I want to do. If I want to stay there or if I have bigger plans for myself. But either way, there is not anyone's approval that's needed. I speak very openly about a lot of things that have just gone on in my life, and I have been greatly judged for my truth. It's funny because I am judged for things that people do in private or wish they could do. I'm for the streets.
She put her life out in the limelight. She ultimately put herself in a situation to be judged. You got to take the good with the bad. Just like this YouTube channel, you know, I'm going to have a lot of guys that are going to support me. And then you have the radical feminists that are in my DMs, you know, saying radical things, right? It is what it is.
I'm not wife material because I've had sex with men. But the funny thing about that is I could become a nun tomorrow. And do you know what people would still comment under my post? You're still a thought. Your honus can't be deleted. There's really no winning with stupid people, and they will beat you with experience, honey, every single time. I am not a bad girl that's trying to be good now.
Look at your credit score, for example. Companies are going to judge you based off of your previous activity in regards to your credit, right? If you have payments that are delinquent and you're, you know, just not keeping up with your payments, banks and companies are not going to give you money, right? Mm-hmm. So you are always judged by your past. And when you look at the feminist movement, they're pretty much telling women, don't worry about it, you know, be liberated.
All my life I had to fight.
And pretty much just do what you do, boss level up, diva chick, and there's no consequences to your actions. But what are your thoughts on that?
No, 100%. I think that's the thing that goes around with like modern women, right? Like it's more just, you know, everything's loose and you can do whatever you want. No one's going to judge you. And if he judges you, he's the wrong guy for you. Don't worry about him, sis. Like just move on. You'll find somebody else and, you know, have your fun while you're waiting.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's exactly what they always say. And honestly, you're better off holding out for the right guy for you because you don't want to be, like, it's not a good feeling for the girl either. You know what I mean? Like, you're going out of, like, it's not a natural state for women to want to go, like, around with different men, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I would suggest don't go down this route.
This is what we call hitting the wall. When they get to a certain age, usually it's in their late 20s, early 30s, where
it hits them.
Right, it hits them.
Any labels that don't resonate with me. I don't even have to label me going through what I've gone through. I don't have to say I went through a hoe phase. I don't have to speak down on myself for simply learning. When people have tried to degrade me for my truth, every single time I stood tall in it, all 10 in it. You can't use my truth against me. I've accepted it. You didn't just find out. I told you. I own it. There are people who are in loveless relationships, cheating on their partner. I mean, just getting ran. Guys thing with ass tits in a hole. And people living double lives.
See, she doesn't realize that for a woman to have sex, it's easy, right? Like it's easy for a man to sleep with you, but it's hard for a man to stick around and to want to put a ring on you and to spend the rest of his life with you. Like that is the true value of a woman. And she's comparing herself to a man. If a man is sleeping with a bunch of women, it's actually harder for a man to do that. So the fact that a man is able to sleep with a bunch of women pretty much means that he has something going for himself because he's more desirable, and he's also, you know, being able to sleep with women and kind of do his thing. But what are your thoughts on that?
She said something key. She said something in regards to like how everybody's cheating, everybody's, you know, doing their own thing anyways. She sounds a bit hurt. So I think and this is common for a lot of women where, you know, they were a good girl for a little bit, then they got hurt one too many times, and then they're like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to do whatever I want now.
In secrecy, and those same people are the ones who have the audacity to speak on me in my. Now, how does that work? How does that work? Because it doesn't seem like you really know yourself. You know what I mean? Maybe there's something within me that triggers you. Maybe you look at me and I represent the girls you feel like you have to keep up with, you are competing with, or you see me and see a part of you that you have not yet accepted. Either way you spin it, what you have going on, your internal issues, your feelings, it has nothing to do with me. For a long time, I carried a lot of shame. Good, bad, or indifferent, anything that happened had to happen Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. I like to consider myself a progressive, solution-based person.
You could have chose the right men to, you know, share your body with. You could have chose like to give yourself a little bit more time before, like, you know, jumping from man to man and all that stuff, right? So she's just making it seem like it is what it is. It had to happen in her life. It didn't have to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to have a whole phase or whatever they want to say. Like, women are always saying like, oh yeah, you have to go through your whole phase before you like get into anything serious or before you get married and all that stuff. It's not true. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and just to kind of cap off, I know she was in a relationship with a basketball player, and ultimately she had his baby and ended it like shortly after. They just kind of broke up.
Oh, okay.
So I guess she's set for life. I don't know. Like, there's always going to be a simp out there that is going to take on these types of women, regardless of their past, regardless of their history. There's always going to be guys that unfortunately are going to save these types of women. And obviously, you know, she has a child. She's going to be getting child support for the next 18 years. So
Oh my gosh.
it is what it is.
No, but the thing is though, okay, I don't want to go too long-winded with this, but guys, you have so much power. Like, it's just, he should have wrapped it up, okay? Knowing you have a certain amount of money, knowing you're like, you have a certain status, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And there are going to be women who are going to purposely try to take advantage of you. And if you're not careful, this is the situation that happens, right? Like, that she has a baby with you just to get some money out of you, let's say, and then dips.
Yeah,
Why would you know what I mean?
unfortunately, the guys that are athletes that are in the NFL, NBA, are guys straight out the hood.
Yo, but have your fun. Just don't get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't have fun and, like, you know, explore whatever. Because for guys, like, that's whatever, right? But I'm just saying to have a child, like, be more careful, you know? But
Yeah,
anyways.
fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and end this video. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time.
Bye, guys.